Hey everybody, welcome to Inside the Community with Harsh Kumar. I'm joined by Triforce once again. How's it going, Tri?
Oh man, it's been a crazy weekend for me. It's
Yeah, I
been
know. I seen you guys run the charity stream. So how did that go?
well, it didn't go too well on our end. We were able to raise about $400 from the community via the tester might. It was really a last minute thing due to some issues that was happening with third party sponsors, but some stuff has happened, and I was able to talk to Dominion, and I spoke. I was on the phone the entire day. Spoke to Dominion, spoke to Orlando, so we could sort out what the issues were and how we can rectify the situation. And pretty much, I have some information, and want to just get the truth out there because there's been a lot of different rumors going around, speculation. That's pretty much what it's been, so speculation.
Let's talk about that. I mean,
Yeah.
Empire's been under a lot of scrutiny this past weekend after Dominion saying he couldn't go to Evo. Then shortly afterwards, Sanford said he couldn't attend. So people are thinking that EMP cannot sponsor anybody. They're not sending anybody out, especially since Dominion had his own donation drive, and he did manage to get enough to go to Evo, and he will not be competing under the EMP name, but he will be competing under FGC Dominion.
That's so many different scenarios there. So we need to go back to the beginning to get an understanding of what happened. Our title sponsor, which is VXG, they're our main sponsor. Empire Arcadia entered an agreement with them late July of last year, right after the VXG event was actually fulfilled, and our agreement with VXG ends August 3rd, 2013, where we have plans to renegotiate when we have the entire team come to the island and compete at the International Caribbean video game competition. But we decided to make them our title sponsor. In return, they wanted us to create a marketing team for them to help promote the brand, expose the brand to the northeast region of the United States of America. And that's where I decided to create an elite unit of members in Empire Arcadia to be that marketing team. And that's what you now know as VXG Elite, which consists of 10 players. It's Sanford, IFC Yipes, Dominion, Knuckledo, Persia, Rio, Tom Brady, Gross, DRA, and KDZ, Superman, the Superman of the world. So that was the marketing team, and our job was to go and represent the team at the various competitions around the United States and international under the VXG/EMP. EMP is a team, VXG is a sponsor. And that was our agreement. And as you can see, the players were able to go to final round. We were able to move, because of this partnership, we were able to move large amounts of players in areas rather than trying to focus on one player. Our organization, being a development organization, is to help not only develop the scene, but develop players. And there are other teams out there and organizations, but they're very individual. They don't give chance to other players to get an opportunity to travel. It's very elitist based and so forth, where for Empire, that's not our formula. It's all for one and one for all. You know, all the players are for the brand, and the brand is for all the players. So when we do that, you get to see other players like Dragon God, like Jiran, like Bloody Bison and Black Mamba, Louis Cha, Kula, and the other players that don't really get the burn as much, because, you know, we want to get them out there. Hence our our partnership with Phoenix, you know, to help those guys get into the scene and become more notarized. Same thing for LDA, same thing for Clash tournaments, which, you know, has Mewtwo King, despite him being a 6-year member. So that's the way the fundamentals of our organization goes. And I don't want to digress, but I want to give you that background. Because of that, moving the organization forward, the organization is allowed now to send these large groups, 15 players to final round, 11 players to Toryukin 2 in Canada, another 15 players to East Coast Throwdown, 9 players to Guts, 12 players to Civil War, and then like 10 players to CEO, and so forth. And we wouldn't be able to do it honestly without the help of our title sponsor, VXG. Nothing is perfect. Obviously, there are little logistic issues that we are met with, and we challenge those issues and we resolve those issues. So it all started when a third party sponsorship had to deal with what they had to deal with, and a certain check was supposed to be written to set us up for Evolution and VXG. That check was being delayed due to whatever was happening on there. I don't know, because I'm not a third party company. So CEO came up, and the players had to try to acclimate themselves to the new challenges that we were facing in terms of how we're going to get everyone there, housing, so forth, and whatever. At the end of the day, we were able to get all the players there. Dominion, unfortunately, wasn't able to go because a new issue in his personal life was met, and it just didn't allow him the time. So because Dominion couldn't go, Sanford was sent in his replacement. That is when the first spark of EMP can't send their players anywhere, and I just didn't understand why would someone say that when it was simply one player who had something going on in his personal life that could not attend an event, and he was replaced. If we couldn't send our players anywhere, then he wouldn't be replaced. And when you look at CEO, CD Jr. was there, Rio was there, Darth Armor was there, KDZ was there, Tom Brady was there, Flocker was there, Knuckle Doo was there, Tampa Bison was there, Sanford was there. We had 9 players there. So I don't understand how that, because Dominion couldn't go, it turned into we can't send our players anywhere. Okay, that's fine. The story was perpetuated on event hubs because Dominion had made a tweet that he couldn't go. Everyone took that as, we couldn't send him anywhere, rather than trying to look to see what if there was any other reason. Then, shortly after CEO, Dominion posts he could not go to Evolution. And for the very same reason, which I had made public earlier, why he couldn't go and so forth, which everyone understood. So they just said, oh, that's a shame, one of the top players couldn't be there for that. Sanford then stated he wasn't going, and that's because Sanford was not interested in going, which was fine with us because Sanford wasn't going. If Sanford wanted to go, this is something a lot of people don't know. There was a tournament called New Challengers in Connecticut, where Sanford won his plane ticket to Evolution, along with Jay Rosa, who won the Marvel tournament. Sanford had decided since then he didn't want to go to EVO because he gave up his plane ticket to Jerron Hero Grayson, another member of Empire Arcadia. So Jerron is set to go to EVO. Now, Sanford is going to EVO now because someone decided to convince him to go. And he agreed to that person, okay, fine, he'll go. And they bought him his ticket. So we're thankful for whoever the person is for doing that. His ticket was bought literally last week. And so we're like, okay, so Sanford's going. So now for us, I know Black Mamba is already set. Mewtwo King is already set. Kula and Louis Cha is already set. Core is already set. And Cave Brad's already set. And some of the players from Phoenix, they're all set. So the only players left now is the VXG Elite. And one other member, which is Flocker. So Flocker, Knuckle Doo, CD Jr. CD Jr. is not VXG Elite, but he was one of the people that was set as well. CD Jr., Tom Brady, Rio, and KDZ. So we have these 6 players that we have to deal with. On Thursday, I got a message from our title sponsor. There may be a possible delay. Let me repeat the statement again. There may be a possible delay. Let me repeat it one more time. The key word here is maybe. A possible delay with the check from the third-party sponsor to set everyone up for EVO next week. Is there anything that we can do to create a contingency plan to get these players out to the tournament, and then when the money comes in from the third-party sponsor, it will be reimbursed. I said I'll have to look into it, but at this point in time, there's nothing much we can really do. So the only thing I could think of was create a charity stream and see if we can borrow the money from the community. We stated on our stream that if we can raise the $2,000 when the money comes in, we will be able to help. We will reimburse anyone that chipped in that wants their money reimbursed. So that was the end of it. We raised $400 last night. One of the biggest contributors, well, actually the biggest contributor was Ramon, TSF Ramon. Thank you for your contribution, Ramon. And Ramon stated in his contribution that he wants the money reimbursed. So when the check clears, he will get his money reimbursed. Another huge contributing factor was Royal Lance Eustache. She's a member of the organization who will not be going to EVO, who decided to put in a handsome donation to contribute to the players going. Now, this morning, the vice president for VXG, Rolando Bryson, gave me a call and told me that the crisis has been averted. Countermeasures have been put into place to rectify the situation. So I said, thank goodness. So we'll return TSF Ramon's money, and we'll just purchase the plane tickets and set the players up and get those players that's stated to get to EVO this weekend. And then I called Kevin and told him, hey, listen, now that you can go to EVO, not because he raised the money, but because apparently whatever happened in his personal situation that originally stopped him from going to EVO is no longer involved. Now VXG can do their responsibility as they've always done and send Dominion to EVO. And I told him, so he said, then what does he do with the money? And I said, well, you know, it's one thing to borrow the money if you don't have it, but it wouldn't be a good look to use the money if your sponsor can do, fulfill the role that they said they were going to do, which is sponsor you. So I spoke to Dominion, and we are now making preparations to have all that money donated to Dominion returned to the community, and his plane ticket will be bought, and he would go to VXG where he can join IFC Yipes, Sanford Kelly, KDZ, Tom Brady, and the entire Empire Arcadia crew at the World Fighting Game Championships. So that's pretty much what happened.
Okay, wow, that was a really big dilemma in the past few days, I see. Especially so close to EVO, that's the last thing you want to happen. I think what it is, a lot of people don't understand, and they still don't understand after countless number of times of saying it, is that Empire is not a sponsorship.
The thing is, okay, they don't want to accept the fact that Empire Arcadia is not a sponsorship because they want to place a responsibility on an organization that is not responsible for that thing. Every member that joins this organization since 2001, we have told we are not a sponsorship organization. I am a gamer who has gone into the field of business, and I have done my best to utilize whatever experience I've learned in gaming to help, foster and pretty much raise this brand to where it is now, where we're the most winning video game team in the world. So a lot of people believe when they get involved now that they're entitled to some sponsorship. And I don't know why they think that, but we keep telling them we're not a sponsorship. Our job is to develop you as a player, go out, market you to the industry, find you a sponsor that can fulfill your financial needs, and in return, that player would help the sponsor fulfill whatever services or products that they're trying to sell, which helps the community develop and then helps the industry develop, and then the player. So the organization is helping to develop on all three ends. This is not a popular model accepted by a lot of people in the community, but based on our track record of what we've done for the scene, we've done a lot for the scene in terms of commercialism, industrialism, and we've done, and on a cultural standpoint, we've worked from all fields. Our track record speaks for it. A lot of people based our track records on hearsay, and that's because they're new. So they don't really know what's going on, or they don't have any true reference to base Empire Arcadia on. Most of their reference are based on people dislike me personally, or what the organization stands for. So they create these things, and I guess it's funny because it has drama involved in it, and yeah, and they just want to get involved with that drama.
So why do you think that this drama revolves you and the Empire specifically?
Well, that is a very difficult question because what ends up happening is that if I express my knowledge as to why it happens, then people will start to believe that there's all types of words for it. I don't know. You could choose one word. Well, let's just go with the word crazy.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. And I've learned this by watching a lot of politics on CNN. There are things that happen in this scene where I cannot say anything about. Although it's the truth, I understand that my personal vindication or divine justice that I want to showcase in the scene may actually be very destructive. So I have to be careful about what type of truth I put out there. It doesn't matter if it's the actual truth. If I do not be responsible on how I manage the truth, then I will go against the principles of this organization, which is the further development of the gaming community, culture, and industry. I'll end up destroying the very same thing I'm trying to help build. So I have to watch how I disseminate that truth properly. Let me give you an example, some inside scoop. Dominion was not the person who actually thought of creating a donation drive. Various members who support the fighting game community's highest standard, that's a hint for those who understands what's going on, contacted Dominion and asked him if he wanted to go to Evolution. Dominion expressed that he would love to go to Evolution, and he got the day off for it, but money was the issue. These individuals, and these individuals are from media to tournament organizers, big boys, the biggest in the scene. So if you can read between the lines, you know who I'm talking about. Spoke to him on IRC chat and said, why don't you do a donation drive and we will help promote it? Which, it's funny because we had a donation drive, but it was nowhere on any of the flagship fighting game community pages. But he had a donation drive and it was there, which, as you can see if you look on their website, perpetuated 5 pages, 448 responses of pure negativity against EMP and its partners, associates, and affiliates.
Well, despite that negativity, he still raised a good $1,500 in one day.
Yes, by 57 people. So you have to wonder, if the thread was so negative, how did he get that amount of money? Unless this was prepared and contrived, where there were a certain set of people willing to help him in spite of the negativity behind it. A lot of people are not happy about the donation going to him.
Right.
They're not.
You know what people were saying? Why does he need 1,500? Because that's what it was set at originally. So people are asking why.
He didn't name 1,500. The conspirators who suggested it to him told him that. They said you should set it to 1,500. He normally, you know how the tournament scene goes. He just needs a plane ticket. Dominion is a self-made player. Empire K didn't make Dominion. Dominion made Dominion. He has always been a self-made player. He just plays under the brand, and he represents it because he's been with the brand since day one. So for him, he could have gone and said, anyone have space in their room, he would have gotten it.
Right.
So what would he need the hotel for? But that was set up. So at the end now, it is kind of puts us in the situation here. And the situation, I find it funny because the same people who influenced Dominion to do this contacted me today and asked me a bunch of questions. They wanted to know if I was interested in shedding some light on the subject. And I knew for a fact that they were not interested in trying to find out, what the reality behind the situation is. They were only interested in trying to perpetuate a potential fallout with one of the top players in the United States from being in EMP. So ultimately, in the end, I found this to be comical. So we then decided that the best thing to do is to return the fighting game community their money, sponsor Dominion to get to his event, VXG, not EMP, where he will be at the tournament competing on the VXG EMP.
Okay, so everyone who donated will get reimbursed.
Yes, it was done by WePay, so all he has to do is hit refund, and all the 50 something people that donated will just be reimbursed.
Okay, I see.
So a lot of people think they don't understand the truth behind the situation. A lot of this is perpetuated for absolutely no reason. That no information was given to anyone, so I don't understand where all these comments came from.
A lot of it is just rumors, and then it just spreads. And word of mouth nowadays is so powerful when you have things like Twitter and Facebook and things along that nature. So, false information spreads and people tend to believe it.
Yeah. But it's what can be done. It's just I just find it funny about a lot of things that happen, and it's I don't know, man.
Well,
I really don't.
There's something going on right now in the chat that people want me to ask you about, and I don't know if you would like me to put you on the spot right now.
There's no such thing as putting me on the spot because I don't hide anything, so ask away.
Okay, well, Jailhouse just made a topic about 40 minutes ago on Test Your Might, saying he supposedly never got his ticket for VXG when he won the Ranbats for Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Oh, no, you didn't. VXG is not here yet.
Right.
VXG is on the 24th through the 29th.
Right, but he's saying he never got a ticket yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that doesn't have a ticket. VXG has to. EMP doesn't have their tickets. None of the players' tickets have been bought because there's such a bulk amount of things happening where all these tickets have to be bought. VXG is buying them in certain brackets, so they have a schedule on how to buy the tickets. But we informed all of the players. Empire Arcadia and VXG informed all of the players the date in which they will be leaving, which is on Wednesday. Everyone will be flying in on Wednesday. The event takes place on the 24th through the 29th. So everyone was told to please be ready for those dates. Those will be the dates of the events, and that's when you will be departing. So within this week, next week, everyone will have their tickets ready.
Okay. Well, he was saying, he was making a big deal about it, saying that the whole ordeal seemed pretty shady and underground.
Well, okay, look, a lot of people. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up my phone. I had a conversation with Jailhouse. I'll just repeat it, and then if I have to, I'll just copy paste it and put it out there for everyone to see. So let me just grab this thing here.
The main thing is that I understand that you're gonna buy the tickets in bulk, so everybody can go out there. But he was saying that he was ignored throughout the whole time, ever since he won the Ranbats.
No,
June 5th.
that's kind of impossible because I go to the battle circuit every week. I saw Jailhouse. I saw Jailhouse not last week, the week before when he beat KDZ at Injustice, and I told him, "Yo, don't worry, you're set for VXG." I saw him in person.
Okay.
He goes to next level.
Okay, so he had many opportunities to speak to you about this matter.
No, that's not saying he didn't speak to me. He did speak to me, and I told him that you'll be covered. All flights will be set for you to be flown in on July 24th and return back to the United States on July 29th. And he said, "Okay, don't worry about it." He said, "I'm good. That was it.
Okay.
So there's pretty much. See, listen, I even asked him for his information. I don't want to put his information out there, but for those who, his name is Michael, and I won't say his last name, K. He gave his address, and here I got his email and his mail, and I sent that into Rolando. And I know Rolando told me that he needs his passport information to make sure that this is taken care of because it's an international trip. So that's pretty much what the problem is. I would understand if his complaint came in of the week of VXG and he still had to have his ticket yet. It's 2 days before it, so you have a problem. Or I could understand he's complaining that he's not going to VXG because it's Thursday and VXG started Wednesday, but it's July 8th.
Right. Okay, I understand. Well, he's saying that his passport expired and he would have renewed it if he got some information following his win immediately, but since no information was given to him, he never renewed his passport.
Oh, wait, hold on. You got, okay.
Yeah, I can actually send you the link to the thread.
It's okay. I'll just take your word for it. So wait, let me get this straight. Yeah. Let me get this straight.
Okay.
So there's a VXG commercial promo that tells you the date of the event.
Right.
Okay. Everyone knows Evolution is on July 12th, right?
Right.
So, and a lot of people didn't get their tickets until last minute. In fact, you know something? Let's use Empire Arcade as an example. Dominion, at this exact moment in time, July 8th, does not have a ticket for Evolution. His ticket will be purchased tomorrow, right?
Right, okay.
Dominion has all the credentials needed to board the plane, correct? So let me ask you one question. Whose responsibility it is to have their credentials ready to get on the plane?
It's
VXG? It's that person. Okay. Now, is the event happening at this moment right now?
No, it is not.
Is it happening at the end of this week?
No.
Is it happening next week?
No.
Okay. So, so he has time to gather his resources to get his credentials ready so when he finally gets the plane ticket, he can fly. So what's the problem?
I wouldn't know, but he says, I can send you the link to the thread. He says contacting him just 1 week before the event, asking him for a passport is not acceptable to him.
If his credentials are prepared and he asks for his passport information, that is acceptable. He should have this information ready. Why isn't that information ready? He's calling, asking for... Okay, listen to this. Watch this. He calls a week before the event, right? He's upset. We understand. Everyone can get frustrated. But he's calling Rolando, asking Rolando, I need my plane ticket information. Rolando is now responding to him, okay, can I have your passport information? I don't have it. So why'd you call Rolando? What was he calling Rolando for? He wanted his plane ticket information, right? Rolando's going to give him his plane ticket information. But in order for Rolando to get his plane ticket information, he needs his passport credentials so he can acquire it for him. That's why he's calling him. Okay, Rolando's willing to get that ticket ready. He doesn't have the passport. Now he's saying, oh, well, I didn't have my passport. Then why'd you call Rolando? If you don't have the credentials to get on an international flight, why are you even calling for a flight? You should get your credentials ready.
Yeah, he should have his passport updated by now.
Okay, so... why are we having this conversation? Move on.
Yeah, people just wanted me to address you on this situation. It seems like he really blew himself up because the title of the thread is VSM Jailhouse Blows Up VXG and Rolando.
Rolando can...
but it seems like it's completely opposite, vice versa of that.
Okay, someone says he still has to request off time for work in advance. But I told him the date of the event. He knew the date of the event when he was qualifying for it. It actually, Team Spooky ran the trailer and the promos at the event while he was competing. So everyone knew the date. Everyone knew it was 2 weeks after EVO. In fact, the whole 2 weeks after EVO has been a 1 year and annual conversation. Why is VXG 2 weeks apart from Evolution? Not everyone will be able to go to EVO, or not everyone will go to VXG. So he knew the date. He doesn't need Rolando's plane ticket to he could just say, listen, on July 24th, I need, to this time, I need this day off because I'm planning on going to an event.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Someone says, how did we know he was going to get his ticket? Well, then that's on him. The tickets, we don't have our ticket yet. Everyone who's going in Empire Arcade that's going to VXG is preparing, has their credentials ready. So
You know, another thing is VXG is a big organization. You know, it's not some small little run tournament. It's a big thing. It's a big deal, and like he has to trust that Rolando will come through. Because if he doesn't, it's gonna look bad on Rolando. It's gonna look bad on VXG. I doubt he would do that.
Why would an international event that's marketing in a North American region make a person qualify for a plane ticket and don't pay for it? That's suicide to your own event.
Right, exactly. That's bad media. That's bad press. So there's no reason for him to screw Jailhouse over whatsoever.
It's not in his best interest to do that.
Right.
All I have to say in this particular event, listen, Jailhouse, if you're listening out there, we apologize you felt that way, but just go and get your passport renewed, and you're going to get your ticket, and you'll be at VXG. It's really, that's what's happening. Just get your passport and you'll be good.
I think Jailhouse is in the chat. He says that you should have given him the prize the day it ended. I think he's talking about the Ranbats.
Okay, so you felt we should have given you the prize the day it ended. There are a lot of people who qualified in the IFC Yipes qualified for his VXG ticket at UMACon in 2012. IFC Yipes does not have his ticket. So if VXG was going to give anyone their prize, they would give it in the order people won them in. But then now we're getting into speculations, and that's going to get into a back and forth hissy fit and whatever. If you felt that you should have your prize now, you could have written that to us in a letter saying, listen, I need my plane ticket now, and request for the plane ticket now. And if you had done that, to be very honest with you, you would have probably been told the same thing we're saying now, that the tickets are going to be bought 2 weeks ahead, and this is your date in which you will be leaving.
Could he have requested something in writing?
If he requested something in writing, then he would have something to show here. Everyone, listen, I requested in writing, I need my plane ticket I had to show my boss a plane ticket, blah, 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 and then that would have been handled accordingly.
Right, definitely, right.
Yeah, you tweeted and emailed 100 times asking for where is your plane ticket, and I have my text when you met me in person. I told you I was going to give Rolando the information. You texted me last week about it, and I said I'm going to get on Rolando with it. We're on it. He did get a response. Well, he didn't get the response immediately at the time he wanted. He called Rolando. Rolando responded to him, and Rolando's response was, can I have your passport information? He doesn't have that. So if we had responded to you at the time you wanted us to respond to you, and Rolando would have then asked you for your passport information, what then? Okay, we responded to you at the time you want, but you don't have your passport information. So we're back at the same situation that we're here right now. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And the big deal is that he hasn't renewed his passport, so that's the thing.
But he can. Okay, Jailhouse. Why can't you renew your passport?
There's a expedited option where you can get it in 2 weeks.
I just want to see where. Well, no, it's a renewal. It's not a brand new passport. There's no expediting where it requires all of that.
Really? I thought there was still a processing time to get your new passport through the mail.
Brand new.
Oh, okay.
He's renewing an existing yeah, you can get it in a few days. He's renewing an existing passport.
Okay.
He's not getting a passport. Like if he never had a passport before and he was getting one, I can understand his problem. But he's renewing one.
Okay, I see.
So that's what I'm asking him. Why can't he renew it? Renewal take. Yeah, you can renew. You can renew your passport in the same day. Last year we did a fundraiser for Sanford to get a passport. Sanford got a same day brand new passport. Same day. His plane left on Wednesday. We applied for the passport on Monday. He got it on Tuesday.
Wow. Okay.
So, look, we apologize if you feel we were ignoring you. due to the circumstance, as you can see, we have been going through a lot of duress, and we're handling a lot of things as best as possible. So we ask those in the community who will be attending VXG to do their part in trying to help make this a smooth process by simply having their credentials ready, and VXG will take care of everybody. That's the best I can say.
Okay.
And this is not to try to make him, deface him, or make him look like anything bad or anything. If he renews the passport, he's gonna get his ticket. In fact, VXG is gonna buy the ticket anyway, just so it's out there. And if he can't get it in time, then the ticket was used. It will have Jailhouse's name on it, the whole 9 yards. That will be available for the public if they need to see it. It's not a problem.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about VXG. What do you think about the future of VXG? How do you feel that the numbers will be 2 years from now, 3 years from now?
2 years from now, that all depends on and we can then see what they're going to be able to do. The issue here with VXG is it is a very small island, and this is something a lot of people are not aware of. The island cannot hold as many people to the North American scene that would constitute as a successful event. If the island got 1,500 people, that event would be a resounding, it would be the greatest thing that ever happened on the island. With that people, because of the logistics of the area in which it is. Now, if that amount of people more came, there's a contingency plan just in case that will be able to take care of it. But for this particular video game event, those are stellar numbers. Those are like unbelievable numbers. The island is making preparations for the future, though, to accommodate a lot more. So I can see after this first year's event, based on the experience I got last year going there, which is the greatest experience I've had in gaming, and has nothing to do with we're working with them. We're working with them because of how godlike the experience was last year. That's the main reason why we're working with them, because we want everyone to share in the immense, unprecedented experience that we had at a video game event. We want them to see it. I've asked my closest friends, people within the gaming scene. You got guys like Long Island Joe that's coming. You got guys like Ricky, Justin, Filipino Chat, Chris G, Big E. And these guys are coming with their families. When they are done with this event, hands down, they're going to be like, this event was godlike. Right. Immaculate. So, and once that happens, more people, then I guess the trust will finally be solidified in the community, as this will be the first time VXG ever did this mass promotion into the North American region, and actually North America as a whole, and then the UK. And when Reinhardt comes on and all this happens, and everyone sees this, everyone's going to say, okay, you know something? That's it. I'm sorry. VXG is a must. It'll be a must. And then the island will then have to accommodate for the immense numbers that's going to be there next year, because it's only going to grow.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Let's compare the numbers to EVO. How do you think it's going to fare against the numbers of EVO?
Bad comparison. Bad comparison. Evolution, because it's in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it has all of those hotels, as EVO gets larger, they have a multitude of hotels to pick from that can accommodate the numbers that they get in.
Right.
VXG, they have a hotel resort that can hold those numbers of EVO. What? 2, 3. Actually, I think it's like 4,000, 5,000. But the venue for where they can hold the tournament event wouldn't be able to hold that much. It could hold about 2,500. And in one particular venue, unless they go to the other side of the island and use the other hotel. So what the island is planning on doing is creating a convention center. specifically for events tailored around mass tourism that's going to be coming to the island for any one particular event. They have this place that can fit like 10,000 people, but there's no roof, and that's like somewhere in the middle of the island. But they're going to need something that's built modern for the players to play in, and without, just in case there's any rain that comes down or whatever the case may be, and they're going to have to build something for that. So we're looking at something 2015, 2016, a convention center that can hold anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 people. Right. Then you can make the comparison to Evo. But right now, it's not a fair comparison.
How do you? I mean, okay. Do you think the timing? What do you feel about the timing of VXG? I feel that it's a bit too soon to Evo, because if you're going to Evo, and then you're going to VXG in the same month, you were spending well over $1,000. Don't you think that's a little bit too much for 1 month? Why not spread it out to maybe August or something like that?
Well, how can I gotta be careful how I address this, so let me try to address this properly. Before VXG 2013 was even planned, there were 2 organizers we contacted. The first organizer to be contacted was Alex Jabeli from CEO. He was a very first. The second person to contact was Evolution. We have letters, or I should say Rolando has letters, in where we contacted these individuals asking them for the dates of their events. And we expressed to them the reason why we're asking is because we would like to make sure that our dates are as far apart as possible so we do not conflict.
Okay, that's understandable.
To be respectable, I will not state what their responses are. They've made the responses. If that question was asked to them, they can let you know what their response is. But we went through the channels of due diligence in the best interest of the community.
Okay.
Oh, and just to let you know, we set our date on July 11th, 2 days after VXG ended. And VXG ended up moving their date to accommodate the community so it wouldn't conflict with Evo.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
And moving the date for such a big event is not easy. I assume it's not an easy task anyway.
We had to move the event in December. We went to the hotel, Maho Hotel, and told them July 11th would be VXG 2013. And this was on July 29th of last year. We set it in stone. It was all set. So August, September, October. And then in November, Evo revealed that Evolution would be on July 12th.
Okay.
And we made it public. It was on the VXG website. We did a couple of streams. We did a God Arc stream, and we posted on Twitter. We posted on Facebook that our event was on July 11th. Evolution then put their event on July 12th. And we were like, what? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? So in order to fix the situation, since Evo wasn't going to budge, we then had to talk to the hotel. It took about a 1-month process to move the event to the end of the year. Now, someone says, why do you put your events in July? So just to let you guys know, that's a good question. The reason why the event is put in July, because that is the island's slowest season for tourism. And it was the only available time they had to host an event like that, in July. So this, in order to work with the tourism board and bring people to the island, they set it for July. So it had nothing to do with Evolution. They hosted every July. There was a VXGs before 2012, which were the international ones going global, rather just the Caribbean versions. And they all hold it in July.
I see. Okay, there's another issue I want to speak to you about, and it's regarding Noel Brown. and I don't want to go into detail about what happened, but a few things did happen, and you said on Facebook that he will no longer be allowed at VXG.
Hmm.
So can you explain about that?
Well, I don't. That is kind of not my field, because from what I know, and this is just based on what I know, I do not speak for VXG on this. I speak solely from Isaiah Triforce Johnson for Empire Arcadia. Um, I just know that something happened at CEO. I'm still not sure what the details were, and Noel found himself in some legal issues,
Right.
and VXG wanted to allow him the time to deal with those legal issues. VXG is not privy to what the specifics of those legal issues are, but they wanted to allow him the time to address those personal matters and so forth, and they relieved him of his obligation to do commentary for the stream. And that was pretty much it. I know it was a board decision that was made from higher ups, so it's not a Rolando thing. They just said that was pretty much it. They weren't sure if whatever situation he was involved with would be done in time for VXG. They did not know what was going to happen, so the best thing to do is just relieve him of those duties and try to find a replacement, which they already have with the following people there.
I see.
That's all I know. I'm like, I had nothing to do with the decision or anything like that. Like, that's not my place.
I see. You know what? It's surprising me because, like, FGC and a lot of these sponsorships are becoming more like a business where what you do outside of your field affects your sponsorship and what goes on with your career.
That sounds like a particular scene. There's a particular scene that does that. I'm trying. It's on the top of my tongue. Wait. Well, esports. Yeah, esports. Yeah. There it goes. Thank you, Styles. Yeah, esports. They do that. So.
Yeah,
I've been telling everyone it's inevitable. You can't stop it. It's like Zod. Everyone will kneel before esports, and that's it. You know, it's esports.
Okay, so let's talk about one more thing before we wrap things up.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Empire after VXG. What's going to happen afterwards? What are your prospects for the next phase after VXG?
Well, the first thing we have to do, because our next huge event obviously is the Fall Classics. Definitely want to give shout outs to Biggie, and I'm not supposed to say shout outs, but whatever. Shout outs to Biggie, Larry, Sweet Johnny Cage, Long Island Joe for bringing the East Coast together with this big event. Our first thing we have to do is we have to look at our renegotiation options with VXG as our title sponsor. We have to solidify that. Once we solidify that, then we have to prepare for the Fall Classic. And then we're looking at UMACon, and then we're also looking at EDC. And then there's other things in between, but our primary concern is renegotiations with VXG as our title sponsor and the Fall Classics going forward. Everything else is still tentatives and talk, and that's pretty much all I can reveal at this point in time.
Okay, I understand. Well, I think that should wrap things up today. We got a lot of things covered. A lot of rumors going around. We cleared them up, so that's definitely good. All right.
Yeah.
So that's productive. Thanks, Triforce, for joining me today. I appreciate it a lot.
Not a problem. You're doing a great service to the community, Kumar. Inside the community should be a staple. It gives the scene a chance to look at a lot of things inside of the community from a constructive, objective point of view. In terms of like getting things done, where it's not just a bunch of trolling and stuff like that. You can get to the heart of certain issues, inform the public constructively and productively.
Right.
So you are a service to the scene, and I look forward to supporting you in anything you want to do with inside the community.
Well,
so thank you for having me on board.
All right, thank you, Triforce. I appreciate those kind words. All right, guys, this was Inside the Community with Harsh Kumar and Triforce. So I'll catch you guys later.